here for a shooting camp. So I'm about to give you guys the encyclopedia of shooting. So I'm guessing you guys are all here because you want to improve your shooting stroke, improve your accuracy, and have the ability to score more points, right? Okay. So the first thing with shooting is we want to be as efficient and repeatable as possible. We want to be as efficient and repeatable as possible. So we want to be able to do the least amount of movement and get the most amount of result. That's efficiency. We also want to be repeatable. So we want to do the same thing over and over. We don't want to have any indecision with what we're doing with our body. Now there's a lot of different ways to shoot, right? I think we wouldn't agree that Steph Curry shoots the same as Kyle Korver, or Kyle Korver shoots the same as LeBron James. Would you guys agree?
No.
So there's a couple different ways, or there's a lot of different ways to do it. But what's important is that you figure out what you can do the same thing every time. That's an efficient shot that can get the ball in the basket at a high percentage. Okay? Efficiency and be able to repeat it. Now, first thing with the jump shot is your flow, is your rhythm, okay? Great jump shooters can transfer energy from their lower body to their upper body. Poor jump shooters only shoot with their upper body, right? Okay, biomechanics 101. To create force, you have to make an action to have an equal or opposite reaction. So where are you creating force? Through what? The ground, right? So if you push in the ground, think like a trampoline, what's going to come this way? Energy, right? Energy, force. So if you don't create force into the ground, we're not going to have an opposite reaction. We're up, right? Okay, so I want you guys all visualize a trampoline, right? You guys have all jumped on a trampoline. So what do you have to do to get really high up there? You have to jump really far down, right? So you guys have that visual of sinking all the way to the ground and exploding up, right? What does it feel like once you reach that bottom point? Like you haven't quite gone up yet, but you've reached the bottom point on the trampoline. What does it feel like? Like a lot of tension, right? Tension. But then once you move up, what does it start to feel like? Very relaxed, very light. That's because you've created force and now it's generated up vertically. So that's going to be the same thing with the shot. Okay, so we want to have good flow. Transfer energy from your lower body to your upper body. Second thing we want to do is with our feet. We want to align them correctly with the rim, okay? This is where it might be different for certain individuals, but you guys can play around with what works for you. A general rule is you want to point your finger to the rim. Some players look down their left eye. The majority of players look down their right eye. If you're a right eye shooter, close your left eye, point your finger right at the rim. If you find out you kind of look better through your left eye, go ahead and make that switch. Once you see your fingernail in the rim, you're going to want to align your body to that position. So if I have my feet like this, wide, and I put my feet or my finger right in the middle, my eyeball is not lined up with the right side of my body. So I'm going to point there, and I'm going to get my foot along that plane right there. I'm going to get my knee lined up with my finger, my hip, inside of my hip bone, right here, my hip capsule, inside of my shoulder blade. My elbow and my finger are all going to be lined up. I'm going to take a pretty balanced and relaxed stance. So for me, it's going to look like this. That's my body configuration, right? For someone else, it might look a little more like this, a little more square. For another player, it might be a little slightly turned. But for me, it's going to be right here. That's my comfortable position. Looking down my right eye goes through the middle of my shoulder, goes through the inside of my hip capsule, to my knee and to my toe. Okay? So we're going to line up with the rim. The second thing we're going to do with our arms is we're going to create 90-degree angles. So you guys all have been in geometry, hopefully, some of these older guys, right? We know what a 90-degree angle is, right? Okay, the first 90-degree angle is going to be under my armpit. Here, see that? The second 90-degree angle is going to be right here, shoulder to elbow. Boom. The third one is going to be right here, my wrist to my hand. There. In that way, we're going to create a lever. Okay? So now when I put force through my elbow, it's going to generate upward and push my wrist forward. Okay? What a lot of players do is they only shoot horizontally or they only shoot vertically. Okay? So some players shoot only vertical. Some players only shoot forward. So it's not like a rocket ship where we're shooting just up, because that's not going to get to the rim. Just like it's not a catapult, which is going to shoot the ball forward. It's up and out. Up and out. 90 degrees, shooting the elbow up, wrist forward. Elbow goes up, wrist goes forward. Not wrist forward, elbow up. Elbow up, wrist forward. Okay? So we have the flow, the trampoline, generating the force. We have the line to the basket. We have the levers right here, 90-degree angles. The last thing, and probably the most important, is the follow-through. How the ball comes off the hand. Okay? So some people like to shoot different ways with the ball off the hand. I prefer to shoot off my pointer finger. Some players shoot off both fingers. I've also seen players kind of shoot off three. It's going to depend on your hands. I have a relatively big hand. I like shooting off one finger. Okay? So you guys are going to want to play around with what works best coming off your hand. Whatever finger it comes off of, that's what you want to be in the center of the ball. So if I realize I'm a two-finger shooter, I'm going to want to line up those two fingers right down the middle of the ball. I kind of like shooting off with one finger, so I'm going to put that ball flat right down the middle of the ball. As you hold it here, you're going to want to have a little bit of space between the palm and the ball. That will allow the ball to roll off the fingertips and give you good backspin. If you're someone who kind of shoots a knuckleball, it's probably because you're palming right here. Okay? Get some backspin. So now, as I shoot off the fingertips, out of our lever, the ball is going to get a nice backspin. There. Notice how relaxed my fingertips are. Off the trampoline, shoot a nice, soft basketball. Okay. So we got our feet, we got our arms, we got our power flow, we got our follow-through. Let's talk about some things that people mess up. Okay? Number one is the turn. A lot of players shoot with a turn. Here. Okay. So why do we not want to shoot with a turn? Let's say you had a gun and you were trying to shoot a target over there. What would be more advantageous if you shot it like this, or if you shot it like this? Which one would be easier? The first one, right? And why is that? Because you're not moving, okay? So would you say it's easier to shoot the basketball like this or like this? Which one would be easier? First one, why? Because the rim's not moving, right? So you can be straight on. So what happens is when you guys start shooting and you're really young, maybe you can't really palm the basketball, you start kind of throwing it like a baseball. And eventually you get pretty good at that. But when you get older, it means you've never learned how to transfer weight from your lower body to your upper body. So now today I got to teach you guys how to use your lower body to generate power so you don't have to turn and throw the ball. Okay, and we'll work on that. Second thing that players mess up a lot of the time, you want to have an intense, focused mind, but a relaxed body. Okay? You want to have a really intense, concentrated mind, but a relaxed body. What does Stephen Curry do after he shoots, right? Comes over here, shoot, what does he look like? Relaxed, right? Relaxed. Okay? So we want to be focused on our target, relaxed. A lot of times I see shooters get here, they're really tense. All their muscles are flexed as they shoot. They're trying really hard to push the rock really hard, when it's really just a real light push off the trampoline. Okay? So there we'll take the bicep, flex it, right? You feel how that's tense? We don't want to shoot like that. Take a deep breath in, let it out. We want to shoot like that, smooth, buttery, okay? So we have players that turn. We have players that are too tense, especially in their shoulders and their neck. We want them to relax. The final thing is your offhand. So when you're young, you can't quite palm the ball. So you guys figure out creative ways to kind of shoot with a two-handed shot. So as you grow up, it can cause all sorts of problems with your jump shot. What we want is a one-handed shot here, where the ball's in one hand. The offhand is simply balancing the ball here until you get to the shot position where you can release slightly off the ball and follow through. Okay? What a lot of players do when they shoot two-handed or have a wicked turn is they'll shoot and the hand will fall off the body, shoot and fall, and what does that do to our body? Do you feel like I'm creating force towards the rim or away from the rim? Away. So we want to hold that follow through right here, straight to the basket each time. Other thing people do, sometimes they'll hold it like this and they'll have it fall behind their head. Here, some of this, right? We want that follow through right here. Okay? All right, so nice, smooth. Okay, we're going to work on our jump shot. So I need everyone to find a spot on the wall, get a ball to bring with you, and we're going to find a line.